Hello and welcome back to Dragonflower Gardens. Today we're going to take a look at two different Three Sisters gardens and see how those plants are doing together. But before we get to that, let's talk about some business about going out to that tomato farm. So we got that scheduled for Tuesday of next week. So hopefully I'll have that video to you guys by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. Let's go ahead and take a look at this first here. Three Sisters garden that we have in the front. And here in the front we have, let's raise you up a little bit. Here in the front we have a soft corn. So this is like you use it for like your barbecue or boil it up or canning. This is what you're going to be using right here. This is your soft corn. And it grows somewhere about 8 to 10 feet tall. So we got bush beans in here too, so that's our second sister. So let's go ahead and get a look at that real close. Okay, we can see it right up in here. This is the bush beans. They're just bushing out, just getting ready. And then for our third sister in here, we have squash. And the squash that we are growing is butternut squash. Hooray! That's one of my favorites. Yum! Here's some more bush beans. Those are doing so good. We're just now getting some flowers off of that. This one here is the front yard Three Sisters. So we have our soft corn, we have our bush beans, and we have our squash growing along the bottom. Are you ready to go take a look at the one in the back? Let's go take a look at the one in the back, because it's got corn and beans and squash, but they're growing together differently. So let's go take a look at the differences. What is it we have here today? What is going on? Huh? There's a duck in the chicken coop. What y'all doing in there? Apparently, the ducks need to hang out in the chicken coop today. I'm thinking it might have something to do with the dog. Maybe. Alright, you guys. It's time to go get in your own coop. No, ladies, not you. You guys aren't getting out yet. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Ducks, you guys aren't supposed to be in here. You want to go back to your own? Oh, come here. Come here, look at this mallard. Isn't he handsome? Hello, my mallard. Isn't he the handsomest thing? Oh my gosh, look at this mallard duck, you guys. Come on. That's a domesticated mallard right there, and he is a looker. Sneaking suspicion it has something to do with the dog. Huh? There she is. There's that culprit. You chasing them birds? What you gonna do? How big is your corn? How big is your corn? 'Cause we're living in a world of confusion, where they're all setting the rules, and it's all just an illusion. They're trying to starve you out, my friend. Don't understand their plot, but go ahead and understand this. How big is your corn? How big is your corn? Because this corn right here, this is a hard corn. And in this guild, hard corn grows tall, very, very tall. Very, 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 very tall. This hard corn right here is glass gem corn. Yeah. I really like that because if I don't choose to mill it, we use it as popcorn. Let's take a look at this guild. Let's go ahead and get in there and see what's going on with this Three Sisters. All right, we're up in the corn. And what is this we see right here? This is a bean. See this bean plant right here? Let's go ahead and turn just a little bit. Okay. These are the flowers. Look how they curve up. Now this bean plant, as you might imagine, is a climber. So this one isn't a bush, this is a pole bean. Pole bean is the second one in our Three Sisters here. Yeah, they're wrapping up real nice. That's all the way through those corns, all wrapped up real good. All that wind, it's going today, which is a good thing for corn now. Wind is a good thing for corn because how is corn pollinated, my friends? Wind pollinated. That is easily 18 feet, if not higher. Easily. Here, I'll pull out just a little bit further so y'all can just take a look. Look at that. See? That's easily 18 feet. So hard corn grows taller. That's an important thing to remember. So hard corn grows taller. That's our milling corn, that's our popcorns. Now we're really up in it. You can see those beans? See how they're just climbing right up? Isn't that amazing? There you go. Nature at its best. And what do we got as our third Three Sister in this backyard guild? What? Let's take a look. It's a squash. Yes, it is. Let's go. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. It spread so nicely. What do we got down in there? Ah, there it is. Hello, darlings. Well, you're just looking beautiful as it comes. Hello, hello. Oh, this one's definitely giving off some. He got it growing way, way up. Check that out. There it is. That's awesome. There you go. It's creeping down this way, but looks like the hose kind of squashed it a bit. We'll have to move that. And then it come creeping on down right into that corn. It's your squash plant right there. Right as you come across here, that's your squash plant. And right here, here are your beans. Right? Here's some nice ones right here. Look at that. And those are pole beans, so they're wrapping all up in this corn. See that? That's right. Here in this backyard Three Sisters garden, we planted hard corn, which is glass gem corn, and we planted pole beans, and we planted squash. I planted the squash a little bit further up than the corn so they would creep in and go underneath. Those pole beans just climbed right up that corn. Like that's what it was meant to do. So we got our Three Sisters gardens, and we have two different ways that we can do that. We can do that with a soft corn, which is the corn that we're eating on the barbecue, that we'd be using for canning, freeze drying, dehydrating, those type of ways on how we're preserving that type of corn. But this corn in the back is a hard corn, so We just need it to dry out on its husk, and we can store it away for winter. We can use it for milling to make breads or tortillas. We can use it as a popcorn, as a snack. So that is a great way to have two different kinds of corns that we can idolize in two different Three Sisters gardens. We have squash in the front in the Three Sisters garden, which is a butternut squash. And then we have in the back patty pans, albino patty pans. So we're able to grow two different varieties of gourds and still be able to seed save them because they're within the amount of space between them so they won't cross pollinate, which is approximately about 25 to 30 feet. So in the back we have pole beans that climb up our taller corns. So it idolizes all that space going up. Now pole beans are good in general for any Three Sisters garden. But to run this experiment, we wanted to make sure that we were using bush beans in the front. And it seems to me that the bush beans worked out just fine with the shorter corn, because hard corn grows taller than a soft corn. So our front Three Sisters garden has a soft corn, a squash, which in this case we planted butternut squash, and bush beans. So these are our Three Sisters in the front yard garden. And in the backyard garden we planted a hard corn, which is glass gem corn, and we planted pole beans that will wrap up the corn, and we planted patty pans, our third sister, which is a gourd. So in conclusion, our experiment actually worked fairly well. Our bush beans went really well with our soft corn, which grows shorter than the tall corn. So that's about 8 to 10 feet. That's how tall your soft corn is going to get. Then we planted our butternut squash, making that Three Sisters in the front garden. And in the back garden, we planted our hard corn, which grows taller, which is glass gem corn. And we planted bush beans, which climbed up our glass gem corn, which is about 18 feet. I'd say about 18 feet. And then we planted one more, because it's Three Sisters, which was our patty pans, which is our squash, our patty pans at the bottom that grew along and gave us absolutely gorgeous gourds. So there are multiple ways to work with your Three Sisters garden. Some people will use sunflowers instead of corn, and there's so many varieties of gourds to pick from. It's unending how you could choose to set up your own Three Sisters garden. So we will be back later on this week to do that interview with the farmer about the tomatoes. So if you're still interested in that, or you got any value out of today's content, hit that freaking like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to remember to hit that bell button so you will be notified every time we drop a new video. So thank you for watching Dragonflower Gardens, and remember to keep on growing.